one of the things that the intention behind this type of breath work is that it is meant to be experiential. It's meant to be about discovering our own breath. And one of the things that came to mind, there's a couple of quotes that I wanted to share with you all. But the one that I'm going to start with, this is not from the Respira system or my teachers, but this is from Thich Nhat Hanh. And I was thinking today as refuge and what the idea and concept of refuge is. And there are many ways that especially Buddhists can think of taking refuge. Thich Nhat Hanh has, there was a essay online and entitled Taking Refuge in Our Breath. And I'm just going to share this and then we'll get started with our meditation. Taking refuge in your breath, in your in-breath, you suddenly become yourself right away. You are safe. You are solid. You are fully present right here and now. You are aware that you are a wonder of life and you can get in touch with the many wonders of life surrounding you. So just in conjunction with this idea of discovery, of experiencing our breath for ourselves and taking refuge in our own breath, I'm going to invite us to find a seated position. And for our starts, I'm going to have us just raise our hands above our heads as though we were grabbing a set of rings. Keep that reach through the ribs and then let the arms float down while keeping that lift through the ribs. Close the eyes. And really the important thing here is finding a comfortable seated position. An idealized version of that is with the ears in line over the shoulders over the hips. The eyes can be open or closed, hands resting on the knees or in the lap. And rest into your seat. Start to feel your weight connecting with the earth. And notice how it feels to be here right now in the body. Notice if you feel the points of contact with the earth. You feel the front and the back of the body, sides of the body, above and below. Notice if there's a feeling of heaviness or lightness in the body. If there are any areas of the body that are speaking to you. There could be temperature sensations, hot or cold. There can be a sense of sharpness or dullness. A sense of stability or a desire to move. And without judgment, just observing and noticing these sensations in the body, how it is that your body is presenting itself in this moment. If the mind wanders, bring it back to the body. Allow for the body to be also a source of refuge. Also a source of stability, of safety. Bringing the mind, or the awareness rather, to the breath. Begin to have a felt sense of the breath in the body. Where do you feel the breath? Do we feel it in the lower aspect of the belly, ribs, chest? Do we feel the movement of the breath as it enters our nostrils? Even bringing awareness to where you feel the breath entering the nostrils. So through the center, say the sides of the nose. If we have sinus congestion, if we're breathing through the mouth, noticing that. Bringing the qualities, the awareness of qualities to the breath. Does the breath feel stable or staccato, smooth or rough? Is there a sense of warmth with the breath or coolness? Is this breath slow or quick, full or shallow? And again, no judgment, just observing how the breath feels. Allow the awareness, the mind, to be yoked to the breath. Over the last several weeks, we've been talking about how the mind rides the winds of the breath. So allow for our presence, our awareness of the breath to support the mind. Allow the smoothness of our breath to shape the smoothness of the mind. Allow for the breath to be smooth. And here we're kind of pivoting, if you will, as we focus on a smooth, slow, even, steady breath. Lastly, bringing our awareness to mind itself. Notice if the mind has wanted to wander, or if it is staying steady with the breath. Notice if the thoughts come slowly or quickly. Notice the space between the thoughts. And again, no judgment. There are various ways that we see or think of meditation. There's as many types of meditation as there are types of people. So it isn't necessary that a calm mind is the only way to approach meditation, but also being aware of the movement of thoughts. Having that recognition as well is equally important. And from here, we're going to pivot. We'll open our eyes. It seems like a good moment to open our eyes. Once again, welcome to this fifth practice of Respira. And we generally start with warm-ups. For those who are not familiar with kind of how or where I'm approaching things from, the Respira method that I'm describing or I'm talking about is a distillation of a Tibetan system of yoga that's known as Yantra yoga. And so Yantra yoga arrived to the West with my teacher, Dzogchen Master Chogyam Norbu. He arrived in the 8th century, or in the 8th century. My teacher did not arrive to the West in the 8th century. But the system of Yantra yoga came from Udayana, arrived to Tibet, and my teacher, who was Tibetan, came to Italy in 1959, 1961. And one of the first things he did was presented Yantra yoga. He was a professor of language at the University of Napoli. And as he became more familiar with culture, he realized that there was a possibility to present a system of yoga that was accessible and was unique in its own right. That was and is Yantra yoga. And what we're doing here, what we'll be doing together, is a distillation of that. In Yantra yoga, we focus on what's known as lungsang, purifying the prana. It's a method for discovering how to create a complete breath. We say there's open, closed, directed, empty holds. There's 5 types of holds. And so really what this is about, the Respira method, is a way of understanding how we shape the breath. And so essentially Respira method is simple exercises for discovering complete breathing. And I won't go further into explaining anything with regards to that, except fundamentally, and this might seem obvious, but there are 3 gates. We're always working through the 3 gates, and we've already introduced them. The gate of the body, which is primary to our existence. We have the breath, which is the bridge between the mind and the body. And lastly, the mind, which is subtle. And the intention today is to explore the various phases of the breath. But before we do that, we like to warm the body up. So we're going to start with some warm-ups. I'm just going to start in the lower part of the body. Those who have been practicing here know kind of the lay of the land, so to speak. Start with the ankles and gently shake the ankle. And then whether the toes are available or not, bring the fingers and toes together and then just churning. Here we can also work with the breath, going in both directions. While we're doing this, even still staying aware of the breath, interlace the hands behind the knee. Let the knee be heavy. Press through the sits bones so that the spine feels long. And coming to neutral, I'm going to inhale and exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. Change directions. In, out. Good. Release, and knee is bent. I'm going to clasp the outer edge of the foot. We're going to open the hip, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale up, exhale. Good. One last time. Inhale. Scoop the foot towards the ankle or towards the elbow. Hold in the crook. Reach through the sits bones. Open the collarbone. Good. And we'll bring the knee to the chest. Release the foot. Extend the leg. Do the opposite side. churning. So whether in Respira or in Yantra Yoga, we always start with warming, doing some basic warm-ups, change directions. It can vary for the amount of time that we have. If we have an hour and a half, I mean, as general principle, we have a tendency to do about 20 minutes. We're doing a little bit shorter today. Interlace beneath the knee. Let the foot be heavy, shaking. And releasing the knee. Keep the knee bent. Interlace on the outer edge of the foot. You're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale up, exhale. Good. Last one, we're going to inhale.